A complacent Haryana police, intel failure, and a poor record of anticipating violence. Did all this lead to the unfortunate violence in Nuh? Well, the Haryana government is now bringing out the bulldozers to showcase some tough action post the communal riots in Nuh, but it has some tough questions to answer on the apparent complacency showed by it ahead of these riots. The inputs with the centre indicate that the state police did not take the impending events of Monday seriously and adequate security preparations were not done, despite enough giveaways of the trouble lying ahead. Similar moderate security arrangements as in earlier years during this yatra existed this time too, despite a grave provocation from both sides on the social media. So much so that the Nuh's superintendent of police was on leave last Monday and has now been replaced on Friday with a new officer. A central official in fact told News18 that the Home Minister of Haryana, Mr. Anil Vij, calling Nuh as a well-planned conspiracy is an admission of the fact that the state intelligence mechanism failed to grasp the simmering tensions. The political inconvenience over the riots has also reflected in the ruling faction through statements made by Haryana's Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Dushyant Chautala, and the Union Minister from the state, Mr. Rao Inderjit Singh, who have in fact questioned the attitude of the VHP-led organizers of the Yatra. But this is not the first time that an area of the state has been plunged into chaos with the police literally caught napping. In February 2016, Haryana had seen chaos in Rohtak and elsewhere during the Jat reservation protests when shops were looted, burnt and violence erupted in many areas. The army had to be deployed in the state to control the situation after many years. Then in 2017, huge violence broke out in Panchkula in Haryana when supporters of Baba Ram Rahim went on a rampage after he was convicted by a court. 41 people were killed in this violence, including 32 by police firing. Then also central paramilitary forces had to be rushed in to control the situation. In the case of Nuh as well, centre had to rush in paramilitary forces to get a grip over the situation after hundreds of vehicles were burnt and a police station was attacked. The State Home Minister, Mr. Anil Vij, meanwhile, has stayed put in Ambala so far and has not toured the Nuh area. In fact, even the VHP has now turned around to say that if it was made aware by the state administration of the dangers that lay ahead of the new Yatra, they would have cancelled the Yatra. Anil Vij, in fact, has also admitted to lapses at the administrative level. There is also another factor in Nuh which many are speaking about, the Monu Manesar factor. Well, who is Monu Manesar? Though the wanted murder accused Monu Manesar was not present in the VHP Yatra and the violence over his alleged presence by the other community is unjustifiable. The fact remains that Manesar has not been arrested for the last 6 months and this has been a big issue in Nuh. The 3 Congress MLAs from the area in fact raised this issue very strongly in the Haryana Assembly in February, and one of them even threatened to teach Monu a lesson if he ever came to Nuh. Monu Manesar was charge-sheeted this June by the Rajasthan police for the murder of 2 alleged cow smugglers from Rajasthan earlier this year. Manesar has been freely giving media interviews from undisclosed locations purportedly in Haryana even this week, but the state police has not been able to trace his whereabouts. Rajasthan police efforts to raid locations in Haryana in his search have also been unsuccessful. Rajasthan CM Ashok Gehlot has in fact alleged of non-cooperation from the Haryana side and said his police team saw an FIR lodged against it by the Haryana police during an earlier raid to nab Monu Manesar. The Haryana CM, Mr. Manohar Lal, has now promised full cooperation in this regard to Rajasthan. But the questions over Nuh still remain. Who is responsible for this major lapse? Could this communal riot would have been avoided if the state administration was more vigilant?